Hello, this is voice therapist San Kim. I'm right now down with cold, and I have to sing solo tomorrow in my choir. And so I'm going to do a few voice hygiene strategies today to conserve my voice and to keep my voice as good as possible given the nasal congestion I have here, the hyponasality. This roughness is probably due to maybe a little bit of swelling and irritation in my vocal cords, and also mucus built up. Actually, I think the nasal congestion went down, it drained down, and now it's sitting in the airway. And also, I feel quite dry in my throat. So I'm going to go over a few voice hygiene strategies with you today. And in fact, these strategies you can use even when you're not sick to conserve your voice. Alright, so number one, I'm going to inhale some steamed water today to directly hydrate the vocal cords. Drinking water systematically hydrates my vocal cords, and inhaling steamed water directly hydrates the vocal cords. When you drink water, actually it doesn't directly touch your vocal cords. It touches your throat, but not your vocal cords. If it does, you would choke and cough it out. And so drinking water is very important. In fact, you want to drink 64 ounces of water, 8 cups of water, or you can say 16-ounce bottle of water times 4, or even more. But that doesn't directly hydrate the vocal cords, so I'm going to use air, the steamed water, to directly hydrate my vocal cords and keep them happy. Okay, so I'm going to go to my kitchen and do it. So this is the cheapest steamer I can get, a pot of boiling water. Or you can use steamed water from hot shower also. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my face close to the pot, but not to the point where I'm going to burn my face. And I'm just going to deeply and easily inhale the steam and let that steamed water enter into my airway through the nose and through the mouth. So let's go. Hello. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear. Clear. Almost clear. Next stop is to get rid of the nasal congestion as frequently as possible. When I have just very stuffy nose and it's just so solid inside that I'm gonna blow it out, a nasal spray can be very helpful. So in addition to nasal spray, which will kind of free that congestion, and I will use the nasal wash. One of the products I will use is alcohol, but you can also buy a neti pot, or again, if you can't afford it, just use saline water. Add some salt to water and use a syringe and see if you can squirt it into your nose and rinsing it out. So this purpose is to rinse your nose. This purpose is to get relief from nasal congestion and swollen nasal membrane. So I'm going to use both. Finish the nasal spray, now off to nasal rinse. So there are different kinds of nasal rinse again, like neti pot, alcohol, or sinus rinse, or just saline water. So I'm going to try both alcohol and the saline water, the inexpensive one. So for the alcohol, it comes with this kind of blue container, and it works by gravity. So I'm going to fill up some alcohol in the container. So I'm going to fill this blue container with some alcohol. You can adjust how much you want to put it, from mild to extra strong. So I'm just going to put a little bit. I said I put a little bit, but I actually put half. It's going to be a little bit strong, but that's okay. The rest I'm going to fill up with water. So I'm going to put this container in my nose, tilt my head to one side, and then I'm going to let go of this thumb. Whoop! During that time, if you don't want the alcohol to go all the way down to your throat, lift your soft palate. If you don't know what that means, then just say ah the whole time, and then your soft palate or the gateway between your nose and mouth will be closed so that the solution wouldn't enter into your mouth, and so you don't have to swallow. So I'm going to just do the ah and let the solution fall. And then it's going to come to the other nostril. Very gross, and I'm showing this to you. And now I'm just going to let it fall. So just finish using the steamer and then the nasal rinse. You don't just do it one time a day and say, I'm done. You actually do it multiple times throughout a day if possible. But say you are busy that day, you're outside, do it at least in the morning and at night. Also now, we're going to talk about more hydration, the systematic hydration that I told you about earlier, drinking water. And you want to avoid diuretics which might dehydrate you, such as coffee or any caffeinated drinks like Coke, soda, and caffeinated tea. Decaf coffee still contains some caffeine, so that's why you want to, if you really love coffee, cannot get rid of coffee, then I don't know. Think 1 extra cup of water per cup of coffee. Some people tell me that coffee soothes their throat very well because of that warmth. Well, if you want to get benefit of that warmth but avoid diuretics, the best solution might be some herbal tea. Non-caffeinated, not decaf, but caffeine-free herbal tea. Or if you're not a tea person, you can just boil some hot water and add some lemon for extra taste and drink it up. Or if you don't mind water, use just warm water. All right, so I'm going to get some caffeine-free herbal tea. You have cold and you are down. If you don't really have so many requirements, or if you can afford to rest your voice the whole entire day, do so. It's better to just rest your voice, take good sleep. Focus on hydrating yourself is important if you especially have a big day tomorrow. You're kind of like saving up your budget for your voice for the biggest day tomorrow. However, maybe you cannot afford to take a day off. You have to work. Then conserving your voice becomes more important. So, every hour of talking, give yourself 10 minutes of voice naps. Be really diligent of taking voice rest as frequently as possible. If you cannot take the whole day of voice rest, take at least 10 minutes of voice rest as frequently as possible when you find time. Also, instead of being more of a speaker in the conversation, become a listener. Turn the table around, ask a question to that person so that let that person speak, not you. So I have tutoring today and I have to talk. I'm gonna see if I can conserve my voice as possible by bringing some water, drinking water throughout the tutoring, and also letting my student talk more so. Another thing is, some people, in order to conserve their voice, they start to whisper like this. And actually, when they whisper, sometimes they start to strain their voice. Oh, that was a lot. Oh. They start to strain their voice. And so whispering actually is not beneficial unless you become completely silent like this. Most of the people, when they whisper, they don't do like that. They sound like this. So I'm going to use soft voice instead. So instead of being really loud and trying to force out my voice, I'm going to just stay very soft very easy, feeling easy on my neck. I'm just gonna, downplay my loudness a little bit, but not to whisper. I'm just gonna stay like this. So how are you? Oh, good. All right. So I'm going out right now, and it's very cold outside. And I don't want that cold, dry air to enter into my nose and airway and just irritate everything more. So I'm going to just use a scarf, a regular scarf, and I'm going to cover my mouth and nose when I go out. All right, here we go. I'm in my car right now, ready to go to do tutoring. I'm not going to turn on the heater because I know that's going to dry my throat. And so my car actually have a heating seat, and so I'm just going to heat up my seat instead. If you don't have that function and you have to use the heater, I'm going to say bring a portable humidifier with you. There are a lot of portable humidifier out on website, and so let that portable humidifier run inside the car and let it humidify the air that was dried by the heater. All right.